Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. Do you know how the internet works exactly? Or how it travels the oceans? If not, sit tight. But before we get into the nitty gritty, make sure you're already subscribed to our channel. By turning on the notification bell, you'll never miss our high-tech product rankings or discovery topics like this one. So just turn on that notification bell and you'll be notified as soon as we publish our next video. Now let's zoom on to our topic of the day. Our home is connected, our watch is connected, and even our glasses are connected. We all know that the internet runs somewhere in wires through the house. But did you know that there are undersea cables to transmit your data across the oceans? If you thought you were getting an internet connection through a satellite, you should know that that's not really the case. 95% of internet traffic is transmitted underwater and 5% only via satellite. Let's review how it all started. In 1838, tests were conducted on rubber-insulated ocean cables. At the time, people were already thinking of running cables under the sea. The main reason given was to connect countries that were more or less inaccessible to each other. With the advancement of telegraphy, the first commercial submarine cable was laid in 1851. It was not until 1880 that the French telegraphy company, Paris to New York, finally connected France to Great Britain. And the rest is history. Of course, it is not the internet as we know today. Today, there are more than 420 submarine cables around the world. They accumulate more than 1.3 million kilometers. The longest cable in the world is the CME-WE3, which is 39,000 kilometers long. It provides part of the connection between Southeast Asia and Western Europe. For the purpose of this video, we will focus on the fiber optic cable. Indeed, it is no longer electricity that will send the information, but light. What is it? Let's first understand what an underwater optic cable is made out of. The cable is made of several layers. To date, it is composed of exactly 7 protective layers that surround optic fibers. You'll find among others a copper and aluminum tube, another aluminum protection so the water does not infiltrate the cable. What will surprise you a little more is the presence of the protylum jelly in polymer. Despite all these layers, the cable has a diameter varying between 1.5 and 5 centimeters. It is the optical fiber that is the main element of this technology. Indeed, it conducts information by light pulses. The fiber offers power in terms of flow, and you can reach several terabit per second. In addition, these fibers are equipped with repeaters every 80 kilometers. The main function of the repeaters is to receive the signal on the part of the cable, amplify it, and then send it back to the other part of the fiber. This is done without changing the transmitted information. Each pair of optic fibers is simulated by multiplexers. This technique allows a multitude of different messages to be transmitted on the same fiber at the same time. It then sends it to the demiplexer. This device recovers the signal and reinterprets it as a usable element. The most recent submarine wires can provide several tens of millions of connections at a time. They allow a bandwidth higher than 5 terabits per second. It's quite a process for these cables to land under the ocean. But a process that is much simpler is to subscribe to our channel. We present with you daily rankings of high-tech products. In addition, you'll discover new topics like this one. To make sure you don't miss anything, turn on that notification bell. But let's take a closer look at how a cable is installed. Have you ever wondered who owns these submarine cables? Most are operated by telecommunication companies. More recently, large internet companies such as Meta, Google, Amazon have stepped into this field. The latter call on experts to implement this technology. First, ships must take readings, topographical information to know where to place the equipment. Then the route is determined. At the installation stage, a cable ship transports the cable, which is stored in the tank. It must be unwound, then buried below sea level, hoping for good weather. Obviously, this is something that must be done when the weather permits. It should also be placed low enough to protect it from any fishing nets or ship anchors. At the deepest point of the Japan through, the cables are submerged at a depth of 8,000 meters. This is almost the equivalent on Earth to the height of Mount Everest. Even with all the precautions in the world, a cable is not always safe. They can all fall victim to the movement of ships and the water's involvement. Even if the cables are well buried into the sand, sharks are attracted by the electrical waves. They will therefore find ways to attack the cables without putting themselves in danger. However, the same cannot be said about these cables. Even under these circumstances, the connection must not be interrupted. If a cable is broken or damaged, traffic will be switched to another cable to avoid interruptions or slowdowns. Submarine cables are often in the spotlight and can be a source of diplomatic tension. Let's remember the Snowden affair. He revealed the American National Security Agency was listening to the conversations through optical wires. Let's not forget when the giant Huawei wanted to connect a cable from Australia to the Solomon Islands. The Australian government simply opposed this. Even if everyone has their own theory on the subject, the risk of spying has been widely discussed. With so much demand in terms of connection, big companies want to be able to provide more and more. It's not yet clear what the next longest submarine cable in the world will be, or even the next big innovation that will affect this technology. Cable is still the cheapest but most efficient way to get the internet to travel. On the other hand, more and more environmentalists are talking about pollution. Considering the huge deployment that it's made, many point the finger at the telecommunication companies who are the moment turning the deaf ear. It is well understood that the logistics used for the installation and maintenance of the cables contributed to marine pollution. Moreover, all this is far from being ecological. Given the materials used in the design of the cables, many are pounding their fists on the table. But what option do we have besides the oceans? Why not space? Companies are already talking about it and proposing satellite constellations in space. As mentioned earlier, 5% of traffic is already carried by satellite. With the evolution of technology that aims more than ever to make things green, we expect to find the next 50 years a probable change. That's it, folks. We've reached the end of our discovery topic. Did you know how undersea cables work? If you like this video, feel free to like it and leave us a little message in the comments. If you're still not a subscriber, now's the time to do so. Click on the notification bell to find out about our next exciting topics or new high-tech rankings soon. See you soon.